Hello, everybody. What is going on? I don't know about you, but my mind is really racing a lot, and I'm having trouble getting through the astrology information video that I'm doing right now for May 17th. So, I'm having to light sage to try and get through this to help calm things down. Whew. So there's a lot of electricity in the air right now. So we have to remember, even though I'm recording this on May 16th, I'm in the northern hemisphere. This astrology is happening right now in the southern hemisphere. So it's still happening. So you might be starting to feel it already because let me ask you, have you noticed reality speeding up? Things are moving quicker, conversations are moving faster, there's a lot of news that's breaking. People in general are changing quicker. Suddenly, nobody wants to live the same life anymore. And, this day, May 17th, the astrology for this day is one of the most mentally electrifying days of the year. I'm personally already feeling it, and I'm wondering if you are as well. So when we're talking about Mercury, if you're new to the channel, it's talking about Mercury is associated with the planet of communication. So it's information, it's technology, it's social media, transportation, it's our thought patterns and speech. And so it enters Gemini. Now my dog's all moving around. I think he's feeling the electricity as well. But when Gemini enters, it immediately collides with the planet Uranus. And so that planet is disruption, rebellion, it's awakening, and it's shock. So this energy is a breakthrough energy, but it's also a breakdown. So you've got the two push-pull energy going on right now. The collective as a whole is about to realize that their old way of thinking, it just doesn't work anymore. And then you have, Mercury is comfortable in the sign of Gemini. So when it enters as a collective, the mind, it's moving faster. I have a lot of Gemini. So if you don't have a lot of air energy, your mind's moving faster, but someone like me, it's 10 times faster because it's used to working faster, but now it's a lot more, which is why I'm having to light this sage, because I feel like my mind, my heart, my energy it's in a race. We're all, more curious during this time, more restless. We're feeling more social, right? But at the same time, we're more distracted. I know I keep getting distracted. We're more talkative. We're mentally overstimulated, which is another reason why I have the sage going. So hopefully this kind of helps me get through this video. So also, people, they suddenly are going to want answers during this time. They want movement. They want stimulation. Me, I could do with a little less, but others are going to want more. They're going to find themselves wanting a variety of things. They're going to find that they want truth now, and they want information on things. So the transit will accelerate these forms of communication and information, through media. It's through different forms of technology. It's through the social platforms. So there's going to be viral trends. And people are going to, start traveling differently because of the transportation part, the communication. People will start communicating through different avenues and in different ways. There's going to be a lot of AI conversations popping up during this time. And then you'll see a lot of online communities. So, and because Uranus is sitting there with all this happening, nothing will stay predictable. So, Mercury will conjunct Uranus, and it's one of the most unpredictable mental transits in astrology. So, as a collective, we can find ourselves manifesting during this energy, and it'll be in forms of shocking news. There'll be surprising announcements. You can see people having sudden breakups. There'll be unexpected opportunities popping up as well. You'll find viral internet moments, whether it's for yourself or you witness other people having it. Technology breakthroughs during this period. And rebellious conversations, right? Because people want truth. And things will come out. People will speak the truth, The exposing of lies, like I was saying, people will come out telling the truth about something they've been lying about. Or somebody else will expose somebody else's lies. And then you're going to find the mental awakenings during this. But there's also genius ideas popping up during this time. And a lot of nervous exhaustion, which is kind of where I'm at right now. So you're going to find people feeling mentally hyperactive. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it right now. Unable to sleep. You'll find themselves, their sleep patterns will start changing up. And that's because of being overstimulated. They're going to also feel inspired, right? And then there's going to be a little bit of anxiousness, because of being up and their mind going. So the creative flow is really going to feel charged during this time. So they'll also be emotionally detached, but mentally intense, because Gemini is an air sign, so it's all thoughts. It's not emotion, which is why you have more mentally intense, but their emotions are going to be very detached from their mental thoughts. So basically, this is a kind of transit where someone gets a life-changing idea at 2 a.m. They post one video and their entire future changes overnight. So Gemini, as I was saying, rules communication. Uranus rules the disruption. When you put them together, the online world becomes unpredictable. You can expect explosive headlines across the news. There's going to be social media drama popping up. There's going to be shocking celebrity news. And then you could find there's sudden leaks happening. So there'll be rapid AI advancements during this time. There's going to be debates popping up everywhere. And then you're going to have to be mindful because misinformation will start spreading quickly. People will challenge mainstream narratives. The collective becomes harder to control mentally. So people will start questioning authority figures. They're going to question media. They're going to start questioning institutions and old belief systems. And many begin waking up to the truths they've ignored before. So Uranus always wants liberation. And in Gemini, it wants mental freedom. So the transit makes people realize they're tired of fake conversations. They're tired of repeating the same routine. They're tired of censoring themselves. They're just tired of pretending. And suddenly, that's when people start speaking up. The hidden opinions they had start to emerge. Unexpected confessions will happen. Relationship dynamics shift quickly. Conversations become catalysts for transformation. One sentence changes everything during this time. So, the nervous system is activating. It's highly stimulating astrology right now. Gemini rules your nervous system. Uranus rules the electricity. And you put it together, the collective is going to feel mentally scattered, anxious, restless, overstimulated. They're going to be unable to shut off. The sleep patterns, as I mentioned, could be disrupted. People are going to doom scroll for hours. Attention spans shorten dramatically. But at the same time, the energy creates genius ideas. You're going to have intuitive downloads. There's going to be rapid manifestation. There's going to be creative breakthroughs. This is downloads from the universe kind of energy. The transit heavily favors innovation, people who are into coding. It's going to favor AI during this time, communication technology, social media platforms, digital careers, online education, and then there's going to be futuristic systems that it favors. So we have astrologers are already associating the Uranus and Gemini with a massive transformation in media and technology over the next several years. It's a transit that we really can't avoid. So this conjunction with Mercury acts like the opening spark. So there's a preview of the future is what's basically happening. And then on the 17th, when it comes to the emotions, well, you're going to find people are detached. They're going to be curious. They're going to find themselves impulsive. They can also be excited during this time, but there's also being overstimulated. So mentally, people during this time are hyper aware. They're inspired. They're distracted, rebellious, but they're mentally awake. And spiritually, this transit can be like, okay, once you see the truth, you cannot unsee it. That's where the spiritual part creates the awakenings, right? Once you're willing to see the truth and you can't unsee it, you're mentally awakening. People are awakening to the fakeness, right? They're awakening to being inspired. They're awakening to creative ideas. And so there's going to be sudden realizations. The intuition will start spiking. You're going to start seeing synchronicities. Me personally, on the drive home, I went into the day job this week, and on the way home, I had like 4 cars all around me with double and triple digit numbers. 888-8877, 777-33333. It was wild. Like, it was non-stop for me. And when you see that, that's the universe, your spirit guides, your loved ones that are all trying to communicate with you. They're trying to get your attention. And it's, you suddenly get unexpected clarity on situations. And then there's going to be rapid perspective shifts during the time. And that's important, okay? Because Mercury Uranus transit, it moves fast. People may make impulsive decisions. They send risky texts. They're going to quit suddenly. They're suddenly going to overreact. And then they're going to speak without thinking. So that's why you want to pay attention to the synchronicities. That's your spirit team. It's your loved ones. It's your spirit guide. It's the universe. They're like, hey, don't send that text. Calm down. Don't overreact. Pay attention to whatever synchronicities are happening, because they're trying to slow you down so you're not acting impulsively. So the transit is brilliant because of all of the innovation and the ideas that come up. We have to understand it also creates chaos. And it's especially online when you find the chaos. But if the transit is used correctly, it's perfect if you're a content creator, if you're on YouTube, maybe you're a podcaster, maybe you're a writer. It's great for astrologers, for tech writers, people who are in marketing. It's great for teachers and public speakers because it's a viral energy. So people are craving for new ideas. They want to hear authentic voices. They want the truth. They want originality. Safe content during this time could struggle. So be raw and honest during this time. That's what wins this kind of transit. So you can frame this transit as humanity entering a new mental timeline, which is what is expected to happen during the first year to year and a half, possibly even 2 years of the transit. So the collective can start realizing the future is arriving a little faster than expected. Technology is reshaping identity. Communication is evolving. Truth is becoming decentralized. This is the beginning of a completely new information era. So what we have to watch out for globally is the possible manifestations when it comes to major tech announcements, AI breakthroughs, internet outages and disruptions. There's going to be shocking media stories and transportation issues, cyber-related news. There's going to be leaks and exposures, sudden market reactions, and communication scandals. Mercury rules information. Uranus rules the surprise. So expect the unexpected. So, the deeper message here is you are not meant to think the way you used to. This astrology breaks the mental stagnation. It's going to push people to evolve mentally, question conditioning, free themselves intellectually, embrace your authenticity. And for many people, May 17th becomes the day they suddenly realize their old life no longer fits who they're becoming today. So if your mind feels restless, mine does. If your intuition is louder, mine is. All the horn honks, confirmation. If reality suddenly feels faster, you're not imagining it. May 17th, 2026 is our cosmic wake-up call. Mercury entering Gemini already speeds everything up. But Mercury conjunct Uranus, that's a lightning strike. It's breakthrough energy, awakening energy, rebellion energy. It's future energy. And collectively, humanity is stepping into a completely new chapter of communication, technology, and consciousness. The question is, are you ready to evolve with it? So if you like this kind of content and you find it to be helpful, please subscribe, like, share, comment. All of that helps to push this content out to a broader audience. And I have to tell you, the broader audience is everybody as a collective, because not everybody is aware of how astrology truly affects us and our lives. And knowing what this astrology is doing and knowing when we need to ground and why our mental thoughts and our anxiousness and, sudden things start going haywire. A lot of it's due to astrology. And if we're aware of it and we know how to harness it and we know that we need to be grounded, we can work with the energy to benefit us and not break us down in the incorrect ways. So I love you guys. Stay tuned. I'm going to be doing the astrology for the 18th and 19th. That will be coming up next. So until the next one, I'll talk to you soon.